In what might have been an unthinkable upset for conservatives just a year ago, Wisconsin, a purple state, just upended its state judiciary by electing an overtly progressive judge to its highest court. This single election has a huge impact, tipping the balance of power on the highest court there to 4 Democrats and 3 Republicans. And it could have big national implications as well, since we can expect election-related battles in Wisconsin again in the year to come. But it seems to have come down to one big hot-button issue: abortion. And the election wasn't even close. Now, it's a long-held belief that conservatives spend a lot of time, energy, focusing on the courts, much more than liberals do, which makes the victory by liberal Milwaukee judge Janet Protasiewicz over conservative candidate Justice Daniel Kelly even more stunning. Liberals now gaining their first majority on the state's highest court in 15 years. Wisconsin went for Trump in 2016 and then swinging to Biden in 2020. Protasiewicz won by a whopping 11 percentage points, clearly something no longer working for the GOP in Wisconsin. But this is about more than Wisconsin, because this seemed to hinge on abortion rights, which she put front and center.
One of my personal values is that a woman should have a right to choose and make her reproductive health care decisions. I can also tell you with 100% certainty that if Dan Kelly is elected to this seat on April 4th, that 1849 abortion ban is going to stand.
Our state is taking a step forward to a better and brighter future where our rights and freedoms will be protected.
After the Supreme Court struck down Roe v. Wade just shy of a year ago, a number of red and red-leaning states pushed full steam ahead with restricting the ability to get abortions. In 13 states now, most abortions are illegal, and near total ban on abortions in effect in Alabama, Arkansas, and Texas, to name a few. Leading many to believe maybe the far right is now going too far for the rest of the country. Recent polls show about 60% of Wisconsin voters, remember, purple state, oppose the Supreme Court's decision to overturn Roe v. Wade. And 68% say abortion should be legal in all or most cases. Remember in Kansas, a very red state, voters in August roundly rejected a proposed state constitutional amendment that would have stripped the right to an abortion, 59% voting no. Now, in Wisconsin, after the Dobbs decision, providers temporarily paused or stopped scheduling abortion services because of that state's 1849 law, which you heard referenced there, that bans abortion unless required to save the life of the mother. That law is set to be challenged next month, and the case is expected to eventually reach the state Supreme Court. So a month before a historic state showdown on abortion, Wisconsin voters send a clear message on where they stand. For decades, Republicans had the issue to mobilize voters. Now that shoe seems to be on the other foot. It's the Democrats getting out the vote on abortion. But joining me now, someone who knows a lot about this in Wisconsin in particular, is Dan O'Donnell, conservative talk show host with WISN Radio in Milwaukee. He's been reporting on Wisconsin politics for over 20 years. Thanks a lot for coming on the program. Appreciate it. All right, so look, you've been following this much more closely than most of us have. Was this largely about abortion?
Protasiewicz certainly made it about abortion. A full third of her television and radio and digital ads mentioned abortion or the 1849 law explicitly. And I'll tell you what, Dan, to bolster the argument that this was, in fact, about abortion, while Protasiewicz won in a landslide victory, Wisconsin voters on the same day, on the same ballot, amended the Constitution to crack down on criminality. And the conservative justice candidate Daniel Kelly, the former justice, tried to make this race about crime, about Protasiewicz being a soft-on-crime judge. While those constitutional amendments passed with 70% of the vote, Kelly, who fell victim to, I think, rapidly and dramatically changing attitudes about abortion in this state, lost handily. So that should tell you, I think, all you need to know.
Well, thank you for watching. Go to newsnationnow.com to find NewsNation on your cable provider. And don't forget to click the red subscribe button below to get more of NewsNation's fact-driven, unbiased coverage.